I used Ladnek because it was my name backwards, and I felt like everybody wouldn't have figured that out immediately.
Heights.
It just became a cleaning company.
Yeah.
I tend to wake up at 4
Yeah.
a.m. You might be the smartest, but you could outwork your competition. Correct. About 3:30 in the morning, my neighbor calling me. Far by you, boy, far. We were selling that for like $40. People buy it from us. I was selling it for kind of 100 and 200 for one and that's it. Illegal, but I was involved in.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. The night when they mentioned that, the next day, my phone couldn't stop ringing. If I could go back and if I could meet people who are like that, I would pay for that.
That's the reason I start legacy level. So that people can have that community.
Me had no company profile, but I'm resourceful. And
AI back then.
Had no AI back then. I remember feeling like, hey, wrap this up. The only reason that it didn't fold up was because I had no choice. I had nothing else. I didn't have a job to fall back on.
You know, my 100, I go flash your phone, I go amp it.
Yeah. I do all that. I bid on the job. I wasn't expecting to win the job. The purchase order came and then it's like, shucks, this thing real. It's like, go for it, try. You wouldn't know unless you try.
Sometimes you get discouraged. Sometimes you go to the worst of the worst. If you don't give up. You understand?
Yeah.
With the man himself, Kendall St. Louis, who you seen, bro. We know each other a long time now.
Yeah.
A long time now. And I mean, he's a man who started by yourself, one man, and you scaled to a company with hundreds of employees, which is
correct.
Insane by itself, right? So I want to jump in straight into it with you. I hear for your first client.
Yeah.
You subcontract somebody and then hire yourself to work for that person so you could learn.
You remember what?
So you could learn why, bro. That's legendary. Walk me through and how you come up with a solution to get around that.
So when I had first got the opportunity to come into this industry,
right.
I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Right? As much as I would have done research online to know how to bid, I didn't know how to do the theory of the practical, I would say, of the work.
Yeah.
Right? But I always had the mindset of figuring stuff out. So I was able to find someone who could have done the work. And then I had to negotiate with them to get the work done where we could both profit from it.
Yeah.
And with that model, I said to myself, I need to understand how to do the jobs so that I could bid for myself without their assistance. So that's where I would have integrated myself as an employee so that I would have been able to learn on the job basically, right? And so said, so done. I was mopping floors, I was sweeping, I learned to use the machines and all these different things, and I mean the rest is history from there.
So you work for the contractor while you was
paying the contractor.
Yeah, that's good, but clearly because I mean from there your scale to now. And I mean, you went from a little one something in library.
Correct.
To scale a company of this size.
Do real research, boy.
That's very respectable. Because people usually think about starting a business and they wouldn't think about getting around it the way you think about, like, hire a man and work for the man. And, but what was your thought process back then in terms of coming up with an idea? Is it just a problem solving thing or you had that going in? Or?
I think looking back at it now, and just because of how I look at myself now, I realize I'm a problem solver.
Right.
So give me a problem, not saying that I want the problems, but give me a problem and I'll figure it out. That's the type of personality that I have.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I think since when I started almost 15 years ago, I think time fly, but I think that's exactly the type of skill set I was practicing or honing, I would say, since then, because figured it out. Because basically I was in the hot seat.
Yeah.
I bid on the job. I wasn't expecting to win the job. I was just trying.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Got the job, and then the purchase order came, and then it's like, oh shucks, this thing real. It's like, I had to do this thing.
Yeah, they're fulfilled now.
Right. Yeah. So then my brain started to work. I started to talk to friends, family, and luckily my uncle knew someone with a cleaning company.
Yeah.
And he put me together with him. And I mean, we had a conversation and then we started networking from there. And then he basically would have told me how much he could have done the job for. And I told him how much I bid on the job, but I told him how much I'm willing to take from the job.
Right.
So that was my first I wouldn't say my first real negotiation, but my first negotiation in business.
Right.
That was then.
And then that take it from there to where
where I am now, yeah.
So let me pull it back a little bit, tell me a little bit about you personally. Like, who is Kendall St. Louis, what you do, where you about, where's your vibe?
I would say an upstanding brother in society. An upstanding brother in society, yeah. I mean, hardworking, respectful, diligent, ambitious, go-getter. I think that's me. And I think anybody who interact with me in a short or long space of time would feel that the energy, the vibe, the conversations, that's just me. It's positivity, it's confidence, is a lot for you to absorb, and when you finish you're feeling like, I'm feeling rejuvenated, or I'm feeling like I could do this or that. Like I feel that's just the personality or the energy that I give off to anybody that's around me.
I feel you. And with that personality, I think it's not really something you just develop. I think it's just being ingrained in you, and you gotta take it upon yourself to really hone in and improve. Because I know, I also see that as a man used to run it up with the CDs and the snacks and the...
Well, yeah. Well, I mean...
School days.
Well, right, that's the ambitious aspect, the go-getter aspect and whatnot. So, I mean, as you mentioned, I didn't even realize you know it so far back. But yeah, back then I mean, it's illegal, but I was involved in piracy.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
No, because what's funny about it is I used to do the same thing.
Right, yeah.
But I was a techie man, so I was telling a man, yo, give me 100, I go flash your phone, I go amp it.
I do all that.
I will bust your speaker with volume.
I can't do that anymore because, I mean, back then I was techie.
Yeah.
So I used to dig up in those things, but I can't do them things no more. I mean...
Right, but it set a good foundation.
The hustle
mindset, the go get it kind of vibe.
Yeah, I remember back then, I think we had the Motorola Rocker.
Yeah, with the iTunes.
And I think back then, it was a big thing for flashing it and thing. And then it had something else that happened with iPhones at one point where, like, you were able to get, I can't remember, no, BlackBerry or something. You was able to get some feature that was not on BlackBerry or iPhone or something. Yeah. And I think I was one of the first people doing it. And I remember people I don't even know show up home by me to get that. By my house to get them things done. And I was like it was crazy. And I used to make a little bit of money from that. So I mean, you bring back some memories there. The hustle mindset has always been there. Always been there.
Tell me how you get a little bit about how you get into the what niche you would say Ladnek is? You would say it's more cleaning niche in general, or?
I think we are moving away from the cleaning niche. Right. I think the right word right now, as we are pushing the company in a different direction, is integrated solutions.
Gotcha.
Right. And what I mean by that is, I mean, cleaning would have been what made this happen.
Yeah.
But I think we've grown way beyond cleaning, right? Whereas, I mean, people see we have the media aspect, we have the vehicle leasing aspect.
Right.
It's like a lot of different things coming to the somewhat make that group.
Yeah.
So something I like as well is figuring things out.
Yeah.
As we said, but I like figuring things out from a client. So clients might come with a problem, we find a solution. So we dabble in AI, we dabble in software, we dabble in full building maintenance and procurement of anything that somebody may find hard to get.
Use the man to talk to.
We find those things, we source those things there. Right. So the company, that's why we presently we're going in the direction of integrated solutions. So it's not, I wouldn't say we are a cleaning company anymore.
It started like that.
We've kind of surpassed that,
Right. But when it initially started, right, you was already in their niche, or it just come to you, or you find yourself in it? What inspired that?
Boy, when I don't know, it's a mix of like God sent,
right,
and then it's a mix of like it was in my face. Because when I used to work construction. I used to observe people cleaning different places. And then when construction had the dip, I had registered a company. I always known that I wanted to do a company, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Construction dip, no work, I had to pay bills.
Yeah.
So I registered this company, and I didn't know what the company going to do. But all I know is it just became a cleaning company.
Yeah.
And I got RFQs, I bid on a job, and I got the job, and it just ended up a cleaning company from there.
Right. You just go with where the momentum was.
I just went with it, and it worked for me. I mean, it had the dips where it's like, I wonder if this really for me. But I mean, here today now is, you can see that I made the right decision by not giving up. And by not giving up, it was really because I had no choice. I had nothing else to do. I didn't have a regular job. Yeah. It was hard to get work at that point in time in Trinidad.
Had to figure it out.
Had to figure it out. And this just worked for me. Fortunately, I think it was God sent because it just ended up working for me.
Serious. How old you was when you registered that first company?
Boy, I think I was in my 20s, or not? 20s.
Being somebody that young in business like that, what is some challenges you would have faced as a young man going to get clients, going to liaise with people?
Bro, I love that question. And it will give me this clip for me to use too. Right? But because somebody reminded me of that today, right? When I started, I didn't want to use my personal name. I used Ladnek because it was my name backwards, and I felt like everybody wouldn't have figured that out immediately.
Heights.
So I used that to say that I work for the company, not that I own the company. Because I was young and I was intimidated by the competition. I was intimidated by everybody else who were older than me. But to answer what you said there, I'll give you a story.
Yeah.
There was an entity that I still do work with them today. And I used to do work with them. I would say they birthed me.
Right.
Right? And so much so, if they call me 2 in the morning, no, still.
Yeah.
I getting up out of my bed.
Serious.
And I go in and figure out wherever the issue is, because that is the love that I have for that entity, because they would have birthed me in business.
Growing up with you.
Right. And I remembered before I started being somewhat successful there, I remember experiencing a lot of challenges in terms of I would only get the smallest pie out of the entire casserole or buffet.
Yeah.
Right? And it was because I was getting a lot of fight.
Right.
Right? And it was because of my youth. And it used to bother me so much so that I felt like I should have given up. And I was dabbling if I should have partnered with somebody else so that they could front the company.
Right.
And I was trying to figuring out all the different scenarios of how to fix the solution, because I loved working for the entity, but it's just that I was just getting fight. I was just getting a lot of fight internally.
Yeah.
And so much so it's like back then, now we have a procurement act that the country is supposed to be governed by, and I use this for a reason, right? The country is supposed to be governed by that. But a lot of procurement things were going on there that weren't on the transparent side of it.
I feel you.
And it just made me really feel like, wait, why doing it not making no sense?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it has really got, and I just didn't give up. I just kept going. I don't know. I remember feeling like, hey, wrap this up.
Serious?
But I felt like that. And I think the only reason that it didn't fold up was because I had no choice.
Right.
And I had nothing else. I didn't have a job to fall back on. I basically had to make it happen. So as much as I wanted to fold up, this was my bread and butter.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to show everybody too, like, sometimes they get discouraged, sometimes you go through the worst of the worst. If you don't give up, you understand?
Yeah. I think as well too, you see, when you have a plan B, somehow it's like some people might have a job, you might have a difficult boss or difficult co-workers, and then you might have parents who might be be able to fund you.
You have a kind of safety
You have
net.
a safety net, and you might say, boy, I don't need this work, and just leave the work.
Right.
You understand? Instead of finding a solution to the issues that you're having.
Right.
And I mean, not everything would have a solution, but I mean, there are some ways that you could work around different things now. And I think some people give up pretty too soon. I didn't have a choice, so I had to make it happen.
Tell me a little bit about the moment when, like the exact moment when you realize this could actually work. Something here, this could work out.
Boy, sometimes, if I be honest with you, if I be very honest with you, sometimes I've been on a job.
Yeah.
The job might just be that. The job used to be very lucrative, I would say.
Right.
So that's when I said, boy, nah, you have something.
Right, when you realize what, when you realize the numbers are going on here.
Yeah. I said, nah, you have something. You have something
to
here.
work
You
with
have something here. You have something here.
I feel you. So tell me a little bit about your first ever customer. So when you start your business, so everybody know you register your business, you start your business, this, that, whatever. But what's the exact steps you take to get a first customer when there's somebody you know already?
Well, boy, that's the same entity we're talking about here. The first customer would have been, and I think relationships are very important, right? Networking and people knowing who you are versus you knowing people. I think that helps, right? Because it was a person that I knew from school days, and we didn't speak for a while, and I don't know, it was God sent. Like I registered the business today. The next week we just magically started talking. It's like, hey, how you going? What not? And then I was like, I start this new company here, and I'm doing this. And then the person was like, hey, what do companies do? And then I was like, let's do this, let's do that. The person was like, send me a company profile. Me had no company profile, but I'm resourceful. I went on Google. And I had no AI back then. Google was my best friend since then. Google and Yahoo. Back then it was Google and Yahoo. Not just telling you. Back then it's Google and Yahoo. People now ain't gonna know about that.
ChatGPT, Claude.
So, bro, I made that company profile overnight.
And
I sent it the next day. The day after, I got RFQs, requests for quotations, and it was asking me to bid on doing this particular job, and I didn't know how to bid. Google and Yahoo again, trying to figure out how to. Back then, the information you could get now was not so vast. So the little information that I got, I had to make sense out of it quick. I used the figures that I was given, and I put in a bid. Got the job, like, back then things was fast. I got a PO like a couple of days after. And that's when I got the PO, that's when I realized, hey, this thing real. And that's when I realized, it's like, boy, it basically time for them. But I would say my first contract that I remember from like actively going out there looking for work would have been a company right in South here, and I would have ran an ad. This was the first time experimenting an ad on the newspaper. I would have ran an ad in the newspaper, and I got a call like about 2 weeks after, and they asked me to come and quote for our office and whatnot. And I just thinking probably wouldn't get it because it happened before, like people just scouting for prices and that type of thing. But it was the mom that called me, the mom of one of the owners, and then I met one of the owners, and I mean he just basically liked me, right? And he was like, "Oh, you remind me of me when I was young and whatnot." And then, boy, submit the quote, and since then, that's probably about 10 years ago, we still doing services for them.
Serious?
It could be about 10, but we still doing service for them. And that was one of my clients that I would have gotten off of dabbling or testing out marketing in the newspaper.
Right. And you say you still do work with them now?
Still do work with them,
What's something you can tell me about customer retention, the way you treat your customers to keep that repeat, to keep that relationship going?
Well, boy, the customer's always right. The customer's always right. I mean, you have to always make your customers feel important and feel heard and seen, right? I mean, that's important. And I mean, you always try to accommodate them. They may have requests that you could facilitate, and that's just what you do.
I feel you. So scaling from that one bedroom in Laramine, in Labrie, to hundreds of employees now, scaling is usually the part where most people tend to fail. How you manage scaling without breaking everything that was already going on?
Boy, I don't know. No. If I be honest with you, boy, it was God sent, and I mean
Serious.
everything just works out.
Yeah.
How it's supposed to.
You're just doing it day by day.
I just doing it day by day. Back then, I mean, fortunately I have a degree now, but I mean, I was just figuring it out as it goes. I used to read a lot, and it was a lot of trial and error. I learned and just improved myself daily. Yeah, just improved myself daily. Back then, I didn't have like people in the same field as me who I could knock or lean on or ask for advice. It was
bouncing ideas.
It was definitely just figuring it out as it go. Yeah.
How important you say that the support system is with having people to bounce things on, being somebody who didn't have one, and now assuming you probably have a few friends you can bounce some ideas with. How valuable you think that support system is?
Very valuable, because it could save you from losing money. It could fast track you. It could help you get forward faster.
Yeah.
And if I could go back, and if I could meet people who are like that, I would pay for that, because it will save you a lot of time, energy, effort.
I like how you answer that, because that's the reason I start legacy level. So that people can have that community. You could be now starting, or you could be already there. Everybody have something to learn. Everybody have somebody they can learn from.
Correct.
And that's really the sole purpose that I do this from, because I was always short of a business partner back there. Bro, if we never used to be talking every day, bouncing ideas, but we would have been nowhere. Yeah, be trying to do everything on your own. And it just be a lot. You feel like someone pushing you down now, boy.
You feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, like, it's always good to have a sounding board. Right? Somebody you could really relate to, and somebody who could give you advice or tell you, well, hey, do it this way. And then you probably would not have thought about doing it that way. And then you try that way. So it's like, it's good. It's always good. It's always good.
So at a time when a lot of people were struggling, was during a lot of business was trying to stay afloat, doing whatever that do. But Mr. Kendall decide, I not on that. I about to get into medical, into the supplies, into the masks. Was that something you just move swiftly on, or you see a gap and you decide? How already make you pull that trigger?
So we answered this already. Figure it out. Is that solution to a problem? That was the problem. Figure it out. If I give you a story, right? How that ended up starting with us going into even the medical consumable supply with gloves and masks and the thermometers and the infrared scanners, the electrostatic what? When COVID hit, I used to go to trade shows before. I went to trade shows in China. I went to trade shows in Miami. I went to trade shows in Las Vegas, Chicago. And I always used to pool all the contacts that I met. Right? Some I bought from and some I didn't buy from. What happened when COVID hit was people didn't have those hand sanitizer dispensers that we had there. People didn't have that. I instantly said, hey, we gotta bring them things in. We brought them. For whatever reason, at the point in time, the person that I made contact with, they had stock. Right?
Some magical reason.
Some magical reason. Bro, the price was so cheap. I ordered about 1,000. Because I just felt like, hey, it came so quickly, right? And the beauty is, we were the only people that had those things in stock. Everybody else, they had the fancy ones where you have to use the particular brand, cartridge and that kind of thing. Ours where you could have just pour in anything. You buy it from us and you could buy your chemicals wherever. Them things sit with me for about 2-3 weeks. I send in emails to all my current contacts, right? Telling them about the dispenser, these different things and whatnot. Nobody responding to the emails. I calling people, calling people.
And you don't have it?
I have it. Nobody gave me no type of energy, we want it or whatnot. Nobody. Bro, I started doubt. I said, wait, you waste your money on these things, boy. You waste your money on these things. I said, wait, I say you make a bad move here because I mean, as much as it was cheap, about 1,000, right? And I say, wait, boy. boom, about within that time frame of me doubting what I do, it had a big thing, a big press conference where they said some businesses could open and you need to fix the business with a pipe and a dispenser for hand soap and for hand sanitizer. Bro, the night when they mentioned that, the next day my phone couldn't stop ringing. Some of the same people that I sent emails to was calling me.
You probably wish you had all that 5,000, eh?
I wish I did, but the thing was I had a strong supply with that person.
Right.
And if you do business, there's something called demand and supply. So the price that it was when the demand was low, was low. But when the demand come high and it's like, and in my mind I'm like, where? I mean, y'all didn't, I was calling y'all, I sent all the emails like, so it was, boy, it was different. And then I just started to pay attention to all the different things that they needed. So I went into the thermometers, I went into the mask and all the different things. Well, no, I didn't go into gloves yet. We dabbled into that late. But we were the first people to bring in the fancy face shields with the kind of glasses. We were the first people to bring that into the country. And I remember when we brought that in. See the street here? The entire street used to be packed with vehicles during the day because people used to come and buy it wholesale and go and sell it over. I remember, I think we were selling that for like $40 for one. And I think I saw people buy it from us and was selling it for kind of 100 and 200 for one. And that's the, now we will look at it like that, you know. But people there was demand and supply. I remember, I know it had a girl that I had her on WhatsApp. She used to come and buy it, and then I used to see her putting she own artwork on the flyer. And I used to see the price, and I messaged her, I said, girl, people buying it for that price. She said, yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you. I know a lot of people did die, and it was a tragic time, but it was a time where I felt, like I always felt like I was real excited for the day. Right? And I mean, it was just because I saw the opportunity in the crisis, I would say. And I think there's a saying that there's opportunity in every single crisis. I think that was, I saw the opportunity in that crisis, and I took advantage of it as best.
Internally, is a problem solver as well.
Problem solver.
You wake up, you're finding so much problems to solve for the day. I can always have something.
You always have something. Yeah.
You think your relationship with money change over time as the business grow?
Definitely. I remembered the first time I got a job in Trinidad. I used to work construction, and I remember my first construction pay. I used to work for $18 an hour. And back then, that was plenty money. That was minimum wage back then. Back then, I think minimum wage was $12.50 back then, and I used to work for $18 an hour. I felt like I was on top of the world. And that company used to pay weekly. I remember my first week pay. It had a store called The Source in Sando, upstairs Raymond's. Raymond's still there, The Source not there again. $10 store used to be there, they're not there again, I think. But who hearing this might know, they could probably do that nostalgia might reach back to you. And I remember my first week pay, I went and buy one set of clothes because I was just excited, man. I felt like I had real money. And I mean, the novelty of that wore off as I got older. And then I started to read more, and then I started to understand money. I started to understand you need to save for a rainy day. I started to understand that, hey, you work hard for it and you shouldn't really squander it. Right? And then I started realizing you need to invest and whatnot. And as the business grew, I realized that, hey, you definitely always have to have a buffer, and you always have to save for a rainy day. Right? And I mean, you always have to look for the future. So that's why you could come and you see Ladnek Media. You'd see the different things that we do. And it's because we would have invested money in different avenues to ensure that we have revenue coming in from different streams. So yeah, my thought process on money changed a lot.
Now it's more of a tool to put to work.
It definitely is a tool to put to work, yeah.
How you would say your understanding of success change from the day you start to now? Like, what success mean to you now versus back then?
Slow mornings.
Yeah.
And I mean slow mornings, I take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
I could choose to have a slow morning.
Right.
But because I'm ambitious, I'm a go-getter, I don't exercise the slow mornings.
Right.
My mornings are start off busy.
One time.
Yeah. So I tend to wake up at 4 a.m. And I try to do that Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday might be a bit different. But when I grinding, Saturday and Sunday is 4 a.m. to it. And you know the thing is, if I don't wake up 4 a.m., if I do wake up 4 a.m. and I wake up 5 or wake up 6, my day they just feel off because I lose time of what I could do. Yeah. So a general day for me is you wake up, you meditate, you pray, exercise. All them things I say there, how long you think that is there? That's a good hour, you know?
Yeah, maybe more than an hour.
That's a good hour there, you understand?
Yeah.
Breakfast, get ready for work. That's an hour again. Right? I ain't even say reading yet.
Yeah.
So
you have a routine.
You have to wake up to knock them things out.
And then be able to start the day at the same time that everybody start the day.
Correct.
So you saying basically every day you have about 3-4 hours on everybody.
You need that, and I mean, to me, books that I read, you might be the smartest, but you could outwork your competition. Correct. I'm 100% sure most of my competition sleeping still. I'm telling you, I ain't asking you. I know. My interactions could tell who. I could tell who wakes up early and gets stuff done, and I could tell who's sleeping and snoring and waking up 6, 7, 8. I could tell who waking up 10.
What time you go to sleep?
Boy, sometimes I go to sleep 11, 12.
That's crazy.
No, but the thing is, people just tell me that sometimes I get 2-3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
People just tell me that, but that's my.
You carry overall vision.
It's not just that. How I grew up under old people. Mm-hmm. And when I mean old people, my grandmother, and she always taught me that you must never let the sun rise on you. And my body just like that. When the sun come up, I can't sleep on it. I just be up. Right. I can't sleep. So my body just routine like that, and I'm an early riser. My whole side of my dad's family like that. We wake up early, and coming from library. Yeah. Back then, didn't have the highway, so you had to get up early to go and get a taxi to reach San Fernando and to get wherever it is. Yeah. So it's just ingrained in me now. It's just ingrained in me.
You once say you're committed to being part of the 2% and not the 98%. What I would look like on a day-to-day basis, beside the way, I know the 4 a.m. is a big one. Yeah. Beside the 4 a.m., what I would look like in your work ethic on a day-to-day basis?
Well, what I would say is I'm the type of person that if I'm working, and I could be how hungry, it could be lunchtime. If I had to finish that task before I eat, I have to.
You have to.
Some people taking that break, and then they're going and exercise and do what it is that I do after. But me, I go in straight through.
Work comes first.
Work comes first. That's just me. I want to beat it off and get it done.
I feel you. What's the biggest mistake you ever make in business?
Biggest mistake I ever make in business is trusting people and thinking that everybody is your friend. And I think that's just a mistake. That's a mistake people make in life in general.
I feel you with that one, boy. I feel you with that one. I had my experiences too. That one does hurt.
I don't know if your story is the same for you, right? But you would find, I mean, my experience is you might be thinking that somebody's your friend, and you might be sharing normal tips, ideas, that type of thing, but that person wants your life, you know.
Yeah.
That person watching your life. And not knowing not knowing that you're waking up for, not knowing that you're sleeping 2 in the morning and still waking up for, not knowing the sacrifices you're making. They're just seeing the stuff that you have and want it, and it gets strange and weird when you thinking that person is your friend. You see that person copying you, copying your word for word, watching everything you do, and it just get weird.
That's crazy.
It's get weird.
It's crazy how much people have that exact situation happen to them as well.
Brother,
That's wild. But that one, I would say, in your control. Right? So like, we talk about something outside of your control. There's something, you've had something terrible happen to you.
Yeah, I mean...
It really was out of your control.
Yeah, like I said, I think I would have done a video on that when, boy, in life and business, it's just not one moment. Yeah. But, I mean, when the arson attack at my business, that was out of my control. And that happened. And I mean, 2 years before that, we would have had a break-in.
Serious?
Back to back. Like it was a long weekend because Christmas fell like on a holiday, like on a weekend.
Yeah.
So the holiday kind of trickled down into like the Friday and the Monday.
Right.
So like they hit us
full.
Right, they hit us the Wednesday.
Ooh.
Then Christmas Eve, Christmas Boxing Day, and then Monday was our holiday too. When we come back out Tuesday, they hit we again. So the thief over my Wackers, and my Wackers is not no Chinese brand Wackers. It was still. That is the still brand, right? Free promo to get there. And they're gonna had about 8 of them Wackers.
Everything you need to keep that money running going.
Gone. And boy, it was devastating. Because you're coming out of a period where it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? And for businesses, we in the mode of gift giving.
Yeah.
Because we give back to clients, give back to staff. Imagine I extend that to everybody and then I losing in the next end.
What was your mentals like around that time, boy? How you back to back, how you endure? How you endure that? Because I feel that happened to me back to back, so I don't know if I'll make it.
No, I tell you part of the story. It was back, that period, that same week, was back to back with the theft, you know. But I also had an employee who was stealing.
Right.
All those things happened in the same spans of finding out all that in 1 week, you know. I dealt with the theft twice, and then I dealt with finding out about an employee who was stealing. It was a lot. It definitely was a lot.
And how soon after that was the arson attack?
The arson attack was last year.
Right.
So the arson attack was like about a year after the theft. The theft and thing. No, it was about 2 years after. 2 years after.
You mind talking about it or you don't want to get into it?
Yeah, I can talk about it, yeah.
What was that day like for you, boy? Because that's an experience, boy.
Boy, it definitely was an experience. Because, again, I sleeping. About 2:30 in the morning, my neighbor calling me. What my neighbor could... No, my phone was on...
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb. Yeah. So for that call to go through, he been calling.
Right, because it repeat calls.
It repeat calls. And when I answer, sometimes I see him calling me that hour, I say something happened. I didn't immediately think fire, but I thought theft or something. My mind went on theft.
Tragedy.
Yes, my mind went on that. I say, hey, what's going on? Fire by you, boy, fire. And I just hear that, and I jolt up. From the time he called me, I get a next call from my next neighbor. So I say, yeah, but I don't get it, I come in. And I had to just throw on clothes.
Yeah.
And just drive down to the office. And from the time I reach, you're seeing the vehicles on fire. Yeah, and I mean, me not expecting that. So in my mind, I don't know what's going on. I'm not expecting an arson attack.
Yeah.
I wondering if one of the batteries in the vehicle just explode or something. That's what I'm thinking.
You didn't realize it's malicious.
I didn't realize it's malicious till we watched the cameras after and we realized it was a malicious attack.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow, you went through some serious things, boy.
Bro, business and life. Because I mean, you don't even need to be in business and them things can happen to you.
Yeah.
You understand?
What you could tell somebody that, being somebody who went through all these things, where you could tell somebody about that resilience that you have. What does really have that resilience enough to have this example and push through?
Boy, I am the type of person that are strong-minded.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody tell me I can't do something, I want to show you I could do it. That's just me, right? I think that's just basically it. And at the end of the day, it's like, what I'm gonna do if I decide to close down Ladnek? what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You understand? What am I going to do to survive? What am I? No plan B. It's like I definitely have to make this work.
How to figure it out.
And how to figure it out.
Yeah. So you have the original Ladnek company, and then you branch out into Ladnek Media.
Right.
What inspired? What make you feel like you needed that arm of media in the company?
Like during we used to have the little. Remember, you couldn't go. They closed down all these different places, so people were more having intimate lives at a certain value and capacity. So we used to have all the intimate stuff after work, and we started recording the conversations, and we started posting it, and people seemed to be engaging with it.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, I always liked looking at podcasts. I used to look at 3 Shots of Tequila as a UK podcast, and I always say, boy, these are conversations I just have with my peers.
So they just vibing.
We're just liming, and I say, when we start to record, I say, this thing working, so I say, hey, better you turn this into a podcast. We get a name, we started to do it. And then I used to do it home. I used to do it in the office, then I used to do it home.
Right.
And then I said, boy, better we start to invest in proper lighting, proper cameras, and all these different things, and let me make this thing official. Because my thought process was always to look for sponsors and things. I felt like we could have gotten that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the returns on that yet. Trinidad just seemed to be slow on it. But I said, hey, might as well invest in a studio space where we could have basically do media aspect for the businesses with Ladnek, and then also offer it for creatives to use, and also be able to shoot our podcast. And I just felt like if I'm doing something, it should be professional. So I already thought about the process of corporate sponsors and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Let me make it look professional.
Right.
So that's why
to
build an ecosystem around it. And part of it is because when I traveled, I used to see studios abroad, how they have the layout.
Right.
Like, so some people, like I might have 5 people doing a podcast, and all of them, the space looks the same because all of them renting from one space.
Right.
And that's the model that I wanted to do here. And that's so said, so done. That's what we end up doing.
So, no, you say you didn't see the returns from it yet? But
No, I didn't see the returns from the podcast. Because remember, I'm looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
You understand?
So, it had some decisions you make that work out, some that you didn't see it work out yet, but you know it's going to. How you does approach taking risks? How you know which risk is one that worth taking, which one like, nah, well, let me dress back and kind of that. How was that decision making process like?
Boy, once something come in my mind and I could do it, I act on it quick.
Once you believe that you can
Once I believe I can execute, I act on it quick.
One time.
You
don't even think about that risk. You say, I know I can do it.
Yeah, and I think that's how to do it fast because your mind might talk you out tight, or somebody else might talk you out tight. Yeah.
So it probably have a young person watching this right now. They sit down home with an idea, probably from South Self, close by, and they're just afraid to execute. What you gonna say to that person?
You gotta try. Yeah. I mean, you never know what could happen. You could not do it, and nothing happens, or you could do it, and your life changed forever, and your life changed in a positive way.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to look at it this way. If you want to be above average, I mean, have a good life, I mean, be financially free, have the freedom of waking up late and starting your day late. I mean, I'm not advocate for that, but once you have the choice of it, right, I mean, you have to take the risk. And I think business entrepreneurship is one of the ultimate ways and one of the avenues that you could achieve that sort of comfort or security.
Yeah.
So go for it, try. You wouldn't know unless you try.
Wouldn't know unless you try. That's good advice. What's the best piece of advice you ever get?
Best piece of advice that I got was to read Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal.
Right.
Now, that's all I would say. Just read the book, The Art of the Deal. If you're in business, just read the book, The Art of the Deal.
Right.
And I think you might understand his thought process and a lot.
Right.
You understand? And I think you can translate it into your business as well.
Right.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice you want to leave with anybody watching this? It could be business, life, anything. Something you just want to leave with people that you really just genuinely want to leave with them.
Call Ladnek for anything.
Get
that right.
Where they can find you?
Mr. Ladnek Official. You can find Ladnek Media and Ladnek Limited on Instagram and all platforms.
Hey, the man, you know where to find him. Kendall, I appreciate it, bro.
Anytime, bro.
Good. Yeah, looking forward to see what you do next.
No problem, no problem.